Welcome to our special third installment of Star Wars December Playbacks. Today we're going to get out of our ships and take the battle to the ground with Star Wars Imperial Assault.
That's right, this is a battle dungeon crawling experience, if you will, in which we'll be using miniatures on a modular board with different tiles to try and protect the Empire or destroy, depending on which side you're on. Alongside heroes such as Luke Skywalker, takes place after the events of A New Hope. So we will see who comes out, who prevails. I'm Jonathan Estes.
I'm Will Keeler, and this is Roll for Crit Playback. Now, before we begin, you have to understand this is spoilers because we are playing the campaign mode. This is actually the second story mission, possible story mission, out of we've played the 3 different sort of scenarios. So
if you don't want to find out what happens to Luke and Gar Khan, turn it off now.
Right. Rebel forces discovered that the distress beacon was a distraction orchestrated by General Weiss, a rising star in the Imperial military. Operatives are searching the galaxy for information on this general's plans.
And that's us, I guess.
Yes, that's us now. You've been sent to investigate a facility under the command of General Weiss. Imperial presence in the sector is heavy, but a timely diversion from another team gives you the opening to sneak in. If you notice, there are 3 doors on the field. They are all locked.
Okay.
Dun dun dun. Each door has 5 health and 1 defense. So you can attack them and break them down.
So doors do, in this universe, doors defend themselves.
Doors have defense and
they
health.
have like a shield that comes out of the side. Okay.
It's a new technology.
You
didn't know, every time they shoot a door in Star Wars, that's a living creature.
So if you turn the volume loud enough, you just hear...
So obviously General Weiss is behind one of these doors. He's going to come out somewhere, right? Doesn't matter right now. So... we have to activate each of these 3 terminals or destroy them? What was it? Activate. We don't destroy them.
There's one here. That one's definitely the closest because all we have to do is go here.
Do we split up or do we go all in together?
Well, if we split up, we have more of a chance of fending off smaller groups of guys. But if we go together, I feel like there's a chance that they could start moving in closer to us and kind of corner us in.
True.
I don't know. I mean...
I think we could. Let's send one person over here.
Okay.
And see if we open that door. We'll see if anything comes out. And then if we need reinforcements, we can get.
Why don't I go here and you and Luke go somewhere else? That way we can split up in a team of 2.
Okay. Well, you're probably our strongest guy. So.
Yeah.
All right. So Luke will move 3, 4, 5, and he could use his lightsaber.
Oh yeah, right on.
Alright, so I'm going to lightsaber attack that droid, which is a red and a yellow, is that right?
But he has a green lightsaber, why wouldn't you roll a green die?
Oh, you're right.
Game is
switch
broken.
it. Switch it. No, you gotta switch it.
Alright, so we can do 5 damage to him. Yeah.
And he's 6 total, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that's pretty good. Although Luke might...
Wait, why is he dead?
Oh, he's dead? Oh, he has 5 health.
Yeah.
Oh, we killed him.
1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6. And then I'm going to use Pounce. So I can move up to an empty space 3 spaces away.
2. So I take 1? Or do I take 2? Or which one?
You take 1.
Okay. Jin-O-Dan!
What?
My name is Jin-O-Dan.
Oh.
And this was like when Wookiees speak.
Yeah.
Like subtitles. Well, I vote I attack that thing.
Nothing.
So 2, and then...
do we want to make it... Nah. That's not... I'd rather give it the 4.
Alright.
4. Is it dead?
Unless I get the X. Nope, it died. It died very quickly.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow, this weapon is pretty strong.
Yeah, it's good. You're a Wookiee.
Right.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to activate my droid over there. I'm going to aim at Luke.
Where are those droidicas?
So I guess I'll deal 2 damage to him.
Okay. I'm going to join Luke, right? That was the plan?
Yep, I think so.
And then, yeah, I'll attack with my... Oh, I just got I got a new gun. So my DH-17.
You have 3 weapons. It's so good.
3
Ooh,
defense.
block 3.
Alright, so you block 3, but I can spend a surge for 1 damage and a pierce. 1 damage, pierce 1.
Oh, so you deal 2.
I like these stairs that just go to nothing. I don't know what those are supposed to be.
Well, they go up
Ruins,
to
I
a
think.
second. Oh yeah, it's like pyramid
And
ruins or something.
I'll try to take a shot on Jonathan.
You mean me?
No, I mean, I can't see you.
You can't see me. There's
Oh, there's a wall there then. God, these black lines are... And there's no... I'm actually...
I hate these black lines.
1, 2...
They block line of sight.
4. I'm just
Make
gonna
it
hide
hard
in
to fight.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll go on top of it, and then I'll open it, right?
Yeah.
Adrenal stem. Adrenal?
It's okay. What does it do?
Some kind of stem. It's consumable medical. Discard this card during your activation to choose yourself or an adjacent friendly figure. The chosen figure recovers 3 stress and becomes focused.
You should probably use that for yourself.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 4.
You're not doing any voices?
They don't know anything. They
Heard something over there.
There's not a lot of... They're just walking
Come
in
on.
a straight line. It's not the most dramatic scene of the movie.
Alright, fine.
Armored Gauntlet attack. So I do 3 damage. That's still pretty good, because otherwise I would do an extra 2.
kills it.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. And next time we'll start shooting at that door.
Well, you should also open this next time.
Well, yeah.
Those are pretty good. So are midichlorians just like an alien species among themselves?
I am always pictured them like tiny nano squids.
I always picture them as just like cells, like talking to your cells, like, at the water
Like
cooler.
white blood cells.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'm gonna go for him.
So they sound like.
That's a really good impression.
Yeah. I'm pretty great. This is my battle cry.
I'm not sure you got enough range. You got a 10. You could have been across the map.
The laser went through my body and across the...
Oh, untap all your guys. Or are you doing it the other way around?
These are all dead.
Oh. Well, didn't mean to rub it in there.
Wait, what is he doing?
He's just trying to hit Luke. Look, I don't even know if he can... Yeah, he's in range. So what do I...
You take 2. Luke takes 2 damage, and we're gonna go for it again.
Alright, wait.
Wait, can you get him from there?
It's closer than the other guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Takes 3.
Is Luke dead yet?
No, but he's got 3 health left.
I'm gonna take a shot.
Luke might die right now. Alright. Nothing.
No, so 3
Is he
damage.
dead?
Is Luke dead?
You just killed Luke.
Wow.
Stormtroopers did something.
That did not happen in the movies. Stormtroopers did not ever kill Luke. Alright, well, he served his purpose, right? He gave us our leg up.
Did you just say he was meant to die?
To be honest, I wasn't ever a big fan. We first saw this game at Gen Con when it premiered a year ago, or a year or 2 ago. And I remember because it was right after we had discussed, I think on our podcast, how there was X-Wing, and I don't think we knew about Armada yet, but there was the Star Wars LCG, and I was lamenting the fact that there had not been yet that
ground.
Yeah, full-on
Yes.
ground combat, more thematic kind of Star Wars-based game experience. And it almost seemed like Fantasy Flight was responding to me when they revealed this game.
Right.
So we've played a bunch of it now.
Well, I think what's interesting we should mention first.
I agree.
That this game is actually modeled heavily on the Descent board game.
Which we've also played quite a bit of.
And I think in this situation, I think we both agree is an upgraded version.
In many ways, yes.
I feel overall, I feel it fixes a lot of the problems that we felt Descent had.
Well,
at least I feel Descent had.
Yeah, well, it's certainly, in a lot of ways, it simplifies it, I think, or at the very least, the rule book is a little more elegant, a little clearer. Although it's still a Fantasy Flight game, you're still gonna miss a few things here and there. But I definitely think there's some things.
We miss a thing in every single game.
Yeah, they did streamline things. A lot of the movement rules are a little bit simpler. The dice rolling sometimes is not quite as weird. And I liked that. But overall, it is definitely, you can tell. Like, if you've played Descent, you're probably going to be able to pretty much jump right into this. There's very little barrier to entry in that case. And in fact,
there's a couple of things you have to be very careful about.
That's true. It could also be a hindrance because the things that they did change, you'll be stuck on. But I liked talking about this because compared to X-Wing and Armada,
it's very different.
Well, when we talk about X-Wing and Armada, we were very much fish out of water. This I feel comfortable discussing. This is our kind of territory. We're familiar with these types of games, and first, we can talk about the thematically because that's the biggest change from Descent. Really, is that it's Star Wars now instead of fantasy.
And one of the differences there is Descent it's a really on the universe. I know it's technically like I think the Roombound verse, but the idea is no one really knows anyone as much, so it's like you can sort of mess around with what's happening there. In this, Darth Vader's around, Luke is around. They sort of can't just, die.
Well, the way they get around that is, they faint, they get knocked out, and then they come back later, which makes sense. I don't have too much of a problem with that. I know we were discussing earlier the fact that
I'm not saying they do it wrong. I just think that's a challenge when designing this was that you sort of people know a lot more.
You're tied to somewhat of a storyline.
Right.
Although I wonder who at Disney or LucasArts and how much they actually meddled with them, what was the process. I'd love to see, it'd be interesting to read the behind the scenes. But I know we were talking about the fact that you do not, sometimes you do, but your main characters that you control as the hero players are not Luke, Han, and Leia. And although...
Right, and you were very disappointed.
I won't say I was very disappointed, but to some extent because we got Luke as an ally. So effectively, we do have Luke to play as. At the same time, I don't think it would have been impossible for them. I'm kind of split on it because I like the fact that this is its own character, so I can sort of take more ownership of this person instead of if it was Luke, like that's Luke forever. But I think it is a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing in the future expansions that capitalize on actually even recreating missions from the movies. I think there's no reason they couldn't do that, even with canon worries and things like that. They can work around that, I think. So, and I could see people being at least more casual fans who aren't board gamers not being as excited about playing as Jin Odan versus Han Solo. Even
though you and Neil were literally Han Solo and Chewie.
We were alternate universe Han and Chewie. But it is interesting from you because we always played as heroes in Descent. This is the first time you've been the bad guy.
Yes. And they definitely stripped a lot of power from the bad guy in this one. You haven't seen them because this is our third level map. But those agenda cards, I've been going through them, and I've had one or two. In Descent, a lot of the ones that Garrett's been buying, our person who's our evil lord in that one, like he stays with them. It's just like trip line to stop you from moving, pretty much, or like things. All mine are one-time use and they're gone. And one was like gain something if you defeat a hero. I'm like, they have 40 life. I'm not defeating them. So like those cards aren't nearly as interesting.
In our case, we do at least.
But even like if you had the 3 to 4, I didn't feel nearly as excited about buying any of those. Mm-hmm. I mean, the little decks were much more interesting. Like I got excited when I got 2 armor on Stormtroopers. I'm like, they won't die in one attack.
Right. No, and that helped you a lot.
Well,
at least in one case.
He was an elite one, so you wouldn't have killed him anyways. But like even if I had regular ones, that would have been just make them from a 3 to a 5. Because you guys are just able to blast through them.
Well, and that's something else about, in case people didn't know, this is a campaign game. So every time we play, we're actually upgrading our weapons and equipment and abilities.
Right.
Which is pretty cool, and again works just like Descent pretty much. You get points to spend
depending
after each
on
mission.
Which side wins, you get additional rewards and so on and so forth.
And so I definitely and then it gets into the big issue, which I think we're going to talk about, which is balance. And I think we would I think we would both agree, at least in our experience,
of which one,
that in Descent. Mm-hmm. We never won as the heroes.
Correct.
And so, but I want to preface everything by saying what I always say, which is I know no matter what your experience is, there's always twice as many groups or just as many groups out there who have the exact opposite complaints.
No, I did a bunch of research with this one because I lost twice in a row. And I'm like, okay, I want to know what other people are. And it's very interesting because one of the things Descent doesn't do, which this one does, is if you're playing with less than 4 people, which I think is the biggest issue with this game is definitely designed to expect you to have the one guy and 4 heroes. Like the game was built around that. That many people,
For sure.
It happens if Legendary hits. What either happens is either the heroes slaughter, the rebels slaughter, or the rebels get slaughtered. There's no middle ground. Legendary mode pretty much makes one side.
Well, you said in the beginning, but you get extra health with Legendary.
Yeah.
Mode.
So that's what I've noticed from what people are saying. So, I mean, take it as you will. It's a good or a bad thing.
It only has 2 health left.
Right. Dumb health door. 2.
All right.
Well, something's in there, Chewie. I mean Garkon.
Wow. Wow.
Sorry.
By breaking down the door,
Peace. I want everyone to know that my Vibroaxe, what I say when I use it is peace when I attack people. So I'm
All right,
effectively just saying peace
Johnson?
when I attack people. Can you pick up Luke's lightsaber?
He got carted back to base.
Oh, okay, alright.
Alright, door. I hope I get to stun you. The door cannot attack, it's stunned.
you make the door bleed. You break the door then,
All
because it
right.
already has 2 damage on it. And because you broke down the door, one of these guys appeared.
It's Darth Vader. It's Darth Vader. Welcome.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Wow. See, open the door, there's just a giant monster standing in that tiny room.
I just used my movement.
Well, he's going to attack you.
Okay, I
2 attack.
got rid of a surge, so just 2 damage.
And you're bleeding.
Okay.
Can we just shoot into this wall until we get into there?
Yeah, but door has health. Why
Grab
on the side
Luke's
of the building?
lightsaber and do the thing in episode 1 where...
Now the question is, should I attack again or should I do the computer? I should attack it again, right? Because otherwise both of these guys are gonna like.
Yeah,
wail
attack
on me.
again.
All right. That's 2 defenses, and I canceled the surge.
Why is it 2 defenses?
Because it's cunning.
So
it
you
gets
did
an additional
nothing.
defense for every.
So
You aimed and didn't shoot.
I did nothing.
You should just activate it, I guess.
Yeah, well now we know. It's so sad. All you can do is get there. It takes you a whole turn to walk inside because you're so slow.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll use my second action.
Yeah.
1, 2. Alright.
So you're gonna start by activating this?
Yep.
By some minor miracle, it is still functioning and even contains useful data. Because, as we all know, Wookiees are very good with technology.
This Wookiee
Look at his
is-
approach.
Messages from General Weiss are throughout, and it's clear that he's involved in many aspects of all listed projects.
Why would they keep secret information open on the... Well, I guess there's people here.
You
so-
hacked it, dude.
I was like... Okay, I'm gonna...
Don't go for this.
Why?
Because I need you out here.
Okay,
I'm dying.
Alright, fine. Okay. I got you,
You
Jin.
spent the whole turn getting this one already.
1, 2... I say you activate the thing.
And what, you make a run for it and
Yeah.
leave me to die?
Yeah. Well, okay, maybe that's a bad idea.
Well, no, as long as I'm still alive, I'm going to have an opportunity to activate it. I'm right next to it. It's not going anywhere.
Alright, fine. Okay.
So I might as well, I gotta keep attacking this
Yeah,
thing.
go ahead.
I don't
Attack
have a
it. Go ahead.
choice.
Yeah. How much have you done to me?
You take 4.
Oh. Thank you.
Oh boy, that's not good, Neil.
No.
You might want to get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, attack him, see what happens, then maybe rest. Actually, well, you won't get any damage shields, but you do have a lot of strain.
Block 1.
3.
So 3.
Is he dead?
Barely alive.
That's 1 left. I know. Couldn't get 1 surge.
I don't think that's a Wookiee sound, actually.
I think you should try to kill him.
You go.
No, what happened is you made the robot bleed,
Right.
which is sort of funny.
That doesn't seem like it should be
Well, it
alive.
has oil
It
dripping
didn't say
out.
what kind of blood.
Okay. Should I just try to run out and forget it?
But won't he just come after us? I don't understand. Like,
Maybe I'm wasting my time. I think maybe it's time to just try running.
well, press this thing first.
I'm gonna activate that computer.
What color is it? You notice entries describing several shipments into this area, but what catches your attention is how the pieces fit together.
I better get a weapon out of this computer.
You surmise that this section of the facility was used to build or modify a vehicle of some kind. Something very different from standard Imperial design. All right.
I'm just reading the computer. Meanwhile, this giant monster's behind me.
This is behind you, like.
I still have an action, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gonna have to do this. I'm not making it there.
I'm trying to get there.
So we still have a good.
We have till 7.
I'm going to
4
spend-
rounds left to get there.
God. Well, we can do it, but we don't know if there's something else we need to do after that, right?
Well, probably there's gonna be a guy in there.
Okay.
I'm just saying we have time. Time is not our enemy. The enemies are our enemy.
I'm gonna spawn a probe.
Yeah. If I do enough damage to this, and he has 1 health left, then I can at my next one I can attack this guy and do like a cleave on him or something.
Try it without it.
So 3.
No surge though.
No. But I got 1 guy.
It's not good enough.
It's fine.
All
We're
right.
doing our best.
So you're
Wookiees.
You should have focused.
Wookiees prefer to die in
being
battle.
another-
Okay.
You're not a Klingon.
Did you have any
6
surgeons?
damage.
I think
No.
you're dead, Neil.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
So what
9, 10,
happened?
11,
He's wounded.
12,
He just
13.
lips it. I think I should just run away.
I think you should too.
I think I should just do a full-on, just move and run.
Go for it. That might have been not a good.
Yeah, I
place
just
to
went
stop.
right to the stormtroopers.
Yeah, it's alright. It's okay.
I'm now halfway dead before we lose.
Jin, this might be our worst
1,
mission
2,
yet.
3, 4.
Oh, it easily is. We've only been on 3.
You know what should have happened? I should have gone the way you went, and you should have gone the way I went. Because I have more health.
Well,
so
what
I
should
could
have
stand
happened is
against
we
these
should
guys.
have kept Luke alive. That's what should have happened.
Yeah.
that was our downfall. I'm dead. He did exactly enough damage to kill me. I'm wounded.
Though the mission isn't complete, you can't possibly see a way to punch through the Imperial forces continuing to fire upon your position. Alliance High Command has discovered rumors of a new weapon under the development of General Weiss. Nothing more is known thus far, but at least the mission wasn't a complete failure.
We got 2 out of 3, right? 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
It's very interesting. I definitely think what's really funny in this one is I only think you guys lost. It's because unlike the other 2 missions, which you guys did a very good job on, you lost sight of the goal.
Well,
You spent
True.
2 rounds in that room.
you want to know what half that problem was, honestly? Is that I forgot because in Descent, you can block figures, and in this one, you can move through them. And in my head, I thought I was stuck, and I forgot I could actually move through that.
Yeah, no, that was the only thing. Oh, by the way, of an interesting note,
Yeah.
only 1 time did I hear people talk about characters when I was looking up, and that's yours.
What do you mean?
Like people,
Oh,
no one
yes,
ever said.
whether one
People
is
said
good or
like,
bad.
I keep losing because literally that character will wipe out my entire army before my turn.
So, well, do you think it would be better you could house rule it and just say each person controls 2 people?
Actually, that's what most people say. They even said if you play with 1v1, 1 person controls 4 heroes.
The only reason I like legendary mode better is because less to keep track of for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like you said, there's so many times you felt like you forget an ability or something.
Yeah, like I don't need to be worrying about 2 upgrade I want to get and stuff like that. Yeah, it's interesting. Like,
No.
yeah, I don't know. There's different ways.
I
to go
also
about it.
wish, I mean, this is more of a small thing. I wish there was more, I had a couple more maybe choices with enemies. Like, I feel, when we play Descent, I feel when, I don't know what, because I haven't played that role, but he seems to actually have a choice of almost all the enemies to place in the beginning. Like, but he always chooses the Shadow Dragon. I feel like in this one, it's almost always this, and maybe I had
Do
a
you
couple.
think that's because they're limited by the?
I think a little
canon?
bit, and I don't think that's gonna be. Well, the biggest issue is usually because you guys tend to kill them very well. And I think now that I have that armor, I think that one card is what's gonna make this much more enjoyable for me because my stormtroopers actually have a chance.
Right.
But that's really the big one because I don't think there's gonna be a mission where I'm not gonna have stormtroopers.
It would be. You never know. But
Actually, no, this one didn't have any. I chose to bring them on.
Oh yeah.
But like comparatively, like I feel like they're so likely to appear out of all of them.
They're a basic choice for sure.
But like some of the things I always thought was hilarious because the robots have the self-destruct ability. But I felt
Right.
like, what are they like? I feel like there's never at a point when they're at the end of the round when they're next to you and either alive or about to die when I'd want to blow them up.
Yeah, it's a situational thing.
Well, the other thing is
just for fun.
because you have more health, like in essence double health, dealing 3 damage to you is like dealing 1. And I'm lucky to get 3 damage. So blowing up isn't nearly as effective.
And then then there's also what the different objectives are in each mission, which again feel pretty mirrored to Descent. It's either you're trying to kill a certain person or you're trying to go to a place and activate or interact with something.
But one of my favorite things they did with this, to smooth it out, which is something that has always bothered hell out of me. Doors.
Yeah. Yeah, you can no longer, if the door's open, it's gone.
Yeah. Well, not only that, certain creatures like spiders in Descent, or in this one, the Nexu, I think they're called.
Yeah.
They're not intelligent enough to open doors, which
Right.
makes sense. And I really like that, though, because one, that makes it easier. Because imagine if you open the door and I could literally drop that thing there and then he closes it.
Right. Yeah, they definitely cleaned a lot of that stuff up. The only thing we said there's not really a way around this. It can be frustrating to put together those maps just at the beginning of the round.
I actually spent doing this one.
Yeah.
I spent a solid 10 minutes saying I lost a piece, realizing it was misplaced on another connection that I need to move it over.
Yeah, it can be. I don't know. There's not really
There
a better
isn't though.
system.
I don't think there is. The same thing with Zombie 15. There's plenty of other games I can think of, but
Descent.
Descent. But there's no good way I can think of sorting them and keeping them in the box.
I mean, what you'd have to do is have separate bags for each thing, and this is 1 through 10.
No, what you need is a filing cabinet.
Yeah, or something, or it's colored. I don't know.
But how do you feel this captures from your point of view as the heroes? Do you feel you're in the Star Wars universe?
I would say I do think it does a pretty damn good job making you feel like, I'm a smuggler and that's my Wookiee friend and we're shooting stormtroopers. And yeah, I would say, I mean, there's a little bit of that. There was never a scene in the movie where they had to find 3 terminals to activate, but they have to give you some kind of objective. So I'd say it does a pretty good job, at least based on these first 3 missions. I'm sure there's ones that could do better, and and of course there's going to be times where mechanically you're like, well, I just feel like I'm rolling dice. But
right. Well, another thing that's
overall-
going to happen, which in this one would have also happened, but I was unbelievably... Somehow the Stormtroopers decide not to be Stormtroopers and kill Luke. But
yeah.
there will be times when, because you have 2 people with full health, you're going to have a really easy time because you can just tank everything. Or you're going to have a really hard time like this, where there's 4 different spots across the map and you're forced to spread out.
Yeah, that's the tough choice.
And the problem is, I don't know if Fantasy Flight
Right.
could do anything about this.
That's true.
I do feel what they did do, I do feel probably makes it much more balanced from both sides. I mean, I'm disappointed because as a bad guy, I don't feel I have as many choices, but now, especially I have the 2 armor, I don't feel like I'm gonna be behind you.
I think I think in a game like this with this rule set, it's nearly impossible to have a perfect balance on every mission.
No.
There's always going to be even a little bit of an edge to at least one side.
Yeah.
Or at least, if not both. But at least compared to Descent, they definitely have improved in that area. It seems like.
Yes. There is one thing I want to talk to you about, because this is something I haven't really read into, but you have. This set actually came with the expansions of Vader and Luke, which outside of the figures, we didn't use.
Right.
Which I'm a little disappointed. We feel like we should have possibly shuffled them in as side missions and stuff, but that's beside the point.
That's for an expansion video.
That is. What is you've actually heard about the other expansions?
Well,
can you explain to everyone what they are?
Well, I mean, we were a little disappointed at first because not knowing anything about the game, really. The Imperial Assault, the expansions, you get a Luke figure, but in the base, there's a token already. So it's not as if, which is actually a better thing. It's not Fantasy Flight isn't forcing you to pay $10 to play as Luke, which is kind of what I thought to begin with. You actually have that capability. It's a figure, and then there's some new cards.
I'm pretty sure that's the same with all expansions. It's just a figure of a token that's in here.
As far as I know.
Or in any of the big box expansions like the Shadows.
Not including Boba Fett, who comes in a later set, and things like that.
But that's because they're tokens in the Shadows one, so really it's the same thing.
It's also, we didn't even talk about it because we haven't done it, there's a skirmish mode, which is a 2-player battle, where I don't know that you might, like maybe you want to have like 7 Stormtroopers or whatever.
Right, and this is where you heard the expansion's really at. It's not as much of the campaign as much as the...
I think it sounds like at least for our group, like if you're really just focused on the story kind of missions, you're probably not going to get as much out of those extra expansions. But
unless you like miniatures.
Yeah, I will say it was cool to have actually Darth Vader and Luke as opposed to just a token.
By the way, we should mention this is a miniatures game because Fantasy Flight does not own the rights to Star Wars board games. And out of curiosity, is Descent considered miniature? Or is that actually listed board?
Oh yeah,
I was curious because that would have been really funny if Descent's listed as board.
No, basically, if it has miniatures and they sell packs, they call it a miniatures game.
Okay.
But that's a discussion for another day. But yeah, I think overall, we liked Descent, and I'd say we like this even more. I think, and if you are a Star Wars fan, depends on, I guess, your skill level, in terms of board games. But I would probably be inclined to recommend this before X-Wing or Armada. At least for me, this is more the kind of game that I like.
My opinion, I'm gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of Descent. But I like this one a lot more. I think even playing on, not having as much as I expected to see it on the bad side, I still think it was just, it's interesting. I don't know, I like controlling 3 Stormtroopers, it's very silly. I think it just seems more fun, and definitely I think it'd be a lot of fun if you actually did have those 4 heroes and 4 people.
Which I think, is true of Descent, is true of a lot of games.
Right.
You always want them.
I don't know if I would... Not to say that I wouldn't. I don't know if I would put it over X-Wing. I think they're both... If you have a big group, I think it's a no-brainer. Because, like I said, with 5 people, this sounds like it'd be fun. But I mean, if you had 2, I'd have to...
Sure.
And I think that actually is probably my biggest thing if I had to recommend one over the other. It's how many people do you think you're going to play with?
Right.
Then again, we haven't done the skirmish mode, but I really do...
For some reason, that doesn't appeal to me that much.
I think it's because...
I know why, isn't it?
No, I think it's because the campaign is just...
Yeah, because that's what I like, is the story of it. I don't want to just... I don't really feel any... Like, I'd play X-Wing if I want to do a battle in Star Wars universe, I guess.
Right. No, so I think...
Nice that they included it, though.
I think it does a better job at the Descent system. I think it captures the ground combat very well. In fact, as far as either of us can tell, really the only Star Wars game that captures ground combat.
As of yet, pretty much, outside of maybe some random young kids Hasbro games or something.
In which case, I'm going to guess we'd both say this does it better.
I would think so.
So even though it's based on a system I would say I'm not a huge fan of, I would recommend it, which is, I think, is a pretty good sign.
But not a system that you hate.
No, I don't hate.
Right.
I just think it was the last one was...
They cleaned it up
Yes,
a lot.
I think they cleaned it up, and it is very presentable. I think Star Wars meshed with it very well. I don't think it was... I don't feel like, here, Descent, they put a Star Wars sticker on.
No, when I heard about it, I thought it just, I was like match made in heaven. I thought...
No, I think it worked.
And it is. I think it is.
Very well. I'm very curious to see what more expansions, because I know what I think is really cool is I don't think it's out, it's just coming out, is Return to Hoth. Which I'm very excited because I'm pretty sure we all agree that Empire Strikes Back is probably the best Star Wars.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what Twin Shadows adds either. I know besides Boba Fett.
Right.
I don't know what else is in there.
Well, I'm guessing R2, D2, and C-3PO since that expansion came out after that expansion.
Right.
And then that one I'm guessing focuses a lot more with Jabba the Hutt and Tatooine and stuff. So that's why I think this one, though, of Return to Hoth, is going to be very cool.
Yeah, for sure. We also haven't gotten the giant walker out in the field yet.
To be honest, by the way, reading it, I wouldn't want to.
What? Well, come on, you have to at least once. Just
Not
to see
really.
it. Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, I do. But because one of the reasons is it actually is because one of the new mechanics, unlike in Descent, it takes a turn to rotate.
Its movement is restricted.
Actually, this thing cannot attack you if you're next to it. So you can literally just
Makes
stand
sense.
by and just start. So unlike, when we're used to Descent having a giant dragon just shoot fire at us,
Right.
you can actually get next to it. So I like the small. In fact, I think all the enemies that aren't Imperial, like the bounty hunters, like the Nexu, the lizard people who I forget, are so much better.
Well, we're gonna keep doing our
Yeah.
campaign, and we'll post our updates on Twitter. Talk about it on our podcast.
We actually need to still do the rewards after this game.
That's right. We have to figure out our experience and stuff. We'll write it down. But maybe they want to let us know their thoughts on Imperial Assault and which expansions they like. And
Am I a complete idiot for having disappointments in Descent? Is this the best of the 3 Star Wars games we reviewed? Is it not?
This will be the last of the Star Wars games review for this month. There are more.
Right. For
that
the special Star Wars
But
December.
for this month, we've done it.
Because the Force is going to awaken.
That's right. Now it's
And that's and whether you think this is what I'd love to hear, people. Will there be Force Awakens for this? Because that would open a whole new box. It's not like, look, here's the Force Awakens ship.
This is one I would love.
Are you kidding?
Prequel stuff too.
Oh, prequel?
No, I know, but I'm not ashamed.
No, I don't think you should be.
The Battle of Gungans. I want to Jar Jar Binks.
No, well, here's my argument.
Battle droids, droidicas.
I think that works really well because, first of all, I think there are more robots, enemies to use.
Yeah,
and
lot more
because
variety.
of the Jedis are existing, I think there's a lot more interesting stuff you can do with Jedi's classes. You can make a Jedi who's much more ranged, like it's a melee attack, but it's considered ranged, like because maybe he does a throw and pull
For
back.
sure.
So,
General Grievous.
Because I don't think the stories. And remember, in the cartoon series that introduced him, he was badass.
Yeah, well, in the game, George Lucas doesn't rate it. There's no dialogue.
I think that it would work perfect sense. I think the story of the area is rich enough for both. I'm hoping the Force is too.
Let us know what you think. You can send us an email, rollforcrit@gmail.com.
And don't forget that @rollforcrit for Twitter or our personal Twitter accounts.
Or just comment right below on this YouTube video here.
And of course, subscribe. But if you want to maybe even see some of those other videos we talked about, you can always visit rollforcrit.com, where we post news, those videos, and very conveniently sell all these games.
Imperial Assault, all of its expansions, and lots of other cool Star Wars games.
Assuming that they haven't sold out yet, because people love these Star Wars.
Get on it, folks! But otherwise, go see Force Awakens. If you haven't already, go see it 3 more times.
We will be seeing it we're filming Monday.
When this airs, we might be at the theater in line right now. So check it out. Thank you for watching. And again, may the Force be with you and you. I'm Jonathan Estes.
And I'm Padawan Will. And this has been Roll for Crit Playback.
Jinodan. Jinodan.
Surge by breaking down the door.